party was saying that the decision around David Duguid was an issue for the party management board, but now you're stepping down. Are you still saying you had no role in that decision around David Duguid?
Yes, I am. It was a decision for the party management board that they reluctantly came to the conclusion they did, and then there was a seat that had to be filled and a candidate found at very short notice. I put myself forward at short notice and was selected by the local association, and now I'm getting out and about in Aberdeenshire North and Moray East to encourage voters to unite behind me as the Scottish Conservative candidate to deliver for that area, in stark contrast with the SNP candidate in that area and other key seats who'll be obsessed with independence.
So did your colleagues in the Holyrood group express unhappiness? I heard you on the radio this morning, you said they didn't directly call for you to stand down, but they say they were unhappy with their decision.
Yes, and many of them told you about that, and others. I read the comments in the press and I took that on board. None of them directly came to me and said, you must stand down, but I did reflect on the comments that I'd seen in the media, and I had to act on that. The easiest thing to do would have been to hide away and do nothing, but I thought it was right to respond to those comments, to react in the way I have, which is to announce that I will fulfil the end of this campaign and then seek to elect a new leader for the Scottish Conservatives who will have my support.
Do you think the way you've handled this issue has damaged the Scottish Conservatives? You're now asking people to vote for a party and it's not really clear who the leader's going to be after this election.
Well, I am the leader up until the 4th of July. I've made that very clear. I'm going to continue with this campaign. But I think it is absolutely right that voters in key constituencies up and down the country can see it's a straight choice between the Scottish Conservatives and the SNP. A Scottish Conservative will deliver on the issues that really matter to people up and down the country. An SNP politician will be obsessed with independence because John Swinney, like his predecessors, has committed to put that page 1, line 1 of their manifesto.
What do you think the next leader of the Scottish Conservatives should focus on?
Well, that's up to them, and I'm sure we'll get a contest. We will hear the various platforms that each individual will stand on, and I look forward to seeing how that contest continues.
And in the 4 years you've had as Scottish Tory leader, how do you feel you're leaving the party now? It seems Labour have overtaken you in the polls.
Well, I think one of the biggest things that we achieved as a party during my leadership was stopping the SNP in 2021. If you look at all of the opinion polls around that 2021 Scottish election, Nicola Sturgeon was on course to be returned with a majority of nationalist SNP MSPs who would have broken up this country. Scottish Conservative votes stopped Nicola Sturgeon and the SNP from separating Scotland from the rest of the UK, and that is something that I think has been and will continue to be very important going forward.
Do you think that's your biggest achievement?
Well, I think stopping the SNP from getting that majority and preventing them from holding another referendum that would divide Scotland all over again is something that is significant.
And just lastly, have you had a chance to look at the manifesto today that the UK...
It's all still being debated and published as we speak, but I understand that the tax cuts are very positive and are in stark contrast to what the SNP are offering here in Scotland, which is making and continuing Scotland to be the highest tax part of the United Kingdom.